Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Pretty great way to start the video. Just driving up along this Forest Service road here in Washington. It is a cold, foggy morning, and just right off the side of the road, I saw that stream, and man, perfect opportunity for a really simple shot to start the day. And I think that pretty much typifies what we're aiming for today. No expectations, just a walkabout, camera in hand, and we'll see what we come away with. So let me know down in the comments what you thought of that photo, and yeah, stick around. I think it's gonna be a good one. Well, that's quite the treat. There's a grouse in this tree right here. Glad I brought this lens. Oh, it is dark though. I'm at ISO 6400 right now, and that bird is also very, very dark. So what do you carry with you when you want a fairly compact setup that is really capable for both landscapes and wildlife? Well, if you've watched my previous video, then you know that I just picked up an R6 Mark II, and I'm really looking forward to using that lens for landscapes. But today I really also wanted to keep the option open to shoot wildlife and be able to really crop in on something that I can't get close to, like that grouse that we just saw. And so for today, what I'm carrying is the Canon R7, which is a wonderful high-resolution crop sensor body, APS-C, and I have it paired for wildlife with the RF 100-400, a really, really small lens for the amount of reach that you get on a crop sensor body like this. Solid autofocus and really solid image stabilization as well, which is important on days like today when it's super, super dark and you maybe don't want to push your ISOs too high on a crop sensor body like this. But we're also here for landscapes like that stream shot that we got earlier, and that is where I carry my 14-35, of course it's an RF lens, f4L. It is an L series lens, it costs an arm and a leg, but this lens, I bought it back, I think in around 2022, and I have really enjoyed using this lens pretty much all the time for landscapes, for weddings, things like that. Even some occasional underwater photography when I used to live in Hawaii. Just really solid, and it's weather sealed. So on a day like today, I don't have to worry about getting this thing a little bit wet. And on the R7, 14 millimeters full frame is still plenty wide enough on a crop sensor body to get some really solid wide angle landscape shots. Close it down to 35 and you're closer to like a 50 millimeter equivalent focal length. Also a really solid lens for more kind of intimate zoomed in landscape shots. And on top of that lens, I have some magnetic filters. Now these are from KNF Concept, but they are not sponsoring this video. I bought these with my own money and I've just really enjoyed using them. You've probably seen me using them in previous videos. They snap on really, really tight. They don't come off even when I try and shake the lens, right? Not coming off at all. And while there is I believe it's a 3-stop and a 6-stop in here, I don't really use those ND filters very much. Maybe, I don't know, once every 5 shoots or something like that when I actually have these with me. But I do use the CPL that came in this kit. It is a really, really solid CPL. And when you're out here in the foggy wilderness, it is a good way of bringing some extra contrast, especially color contrast into your images for things like the moss. Just makes it pop a lot more. And in streams, like what we shot earlier, helps cut down on some of those surface reflections. So we are gonna keep working our way up this service road right here, or Forest Service Road. No idea what we're gonna find, but we're gonna go as far as the snow lets us. Well, I said that we would go as far as the snow let us, and there's our answer. We're gonna go about half a mile back down the road to a trailhead, which leads up towards Mount Eleanor. We're not gonna go up on Mount Eleanor. There's about 6 feet of snow up there, and I did not bring snow equipment for that, but I'm hoping that we can maybe find some shots out here in the trees once we're up on that trail. So, gonna turn around. We'll make our way back up here, maybe springtime, summertime, when these roads are nice and clear and not snow covered. You know, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice, and I'm gonna preface this by saying this is not good advice for hikers, but it, I think, is reasonable advice for photographers. Carry a heavy bag, or at least carry a bag that is heavy enough to slow you down. You know, my bag today isn't terribly heavy. Most of it is actually like safety gear. But I swear, the loudest thing on this trail right now is the sound of my footsteps. you notice so much more. I can hear kinglets flying around off in the trees, talking to one another. Every single raindrop that hits the ground or lands on a leaf just rings out. You can hear it so loudly. And it really just opens up the experience and physically slows you down when you're carrying a heavy bag, makes you look around and find subjects, find compositions, and just think about your compositions more than at least I would normally if I had my light backpacking setup and I was just cruising up this mountain. So really, really enjoying the experience that this is turning into. Haven't found any more photos yet, but have certainly found some peace and quiet that after a very busy week at work, I absolutely needed. Highly, highly recommended. Get out on a trail, maybe pack a little bit more gear than you think you actually need, or more snacks if that's kind of your style, but just slow down. Either do it voluntarily or force yourself to slow down because it is worth it. This place is truly, truly incredible. It's foggy, it's misty, and just gorgeous. Well, I've been looking for a subject, and I think I may have found one. This stump. Could be a little bit weird, but what I'm thinking is, as long of an exposure as I can manage to let all these ferns and even the moss on the stump really just blur. And the stump itself, of course, is going to be nice and sharp and crisp in the photo, but this like blurring waves of green moving all around what used to be this huge tree that has now toppled over and left behind this kind of mangled stump. Let's set up on the tripod and give it a shot. I am giving this about 30 seconds at f11 and ISO 100. I have a 6-stop ND up here on the front as well as my CPL, so about 7 stops or so in total of light being taken away. That's letting me get to that nice long exposure while keeping my ISO for a really low for a nice high quality photo. And compositionally, we're just sticking this guy right in the middle of the frame, giving it that 30 seconds. So all of these baby Douglas fir and ferns down here, they get to dance in the breeze a little bit. We're up on this ridge line and there is a breeze coming up off the mountain this way. And as they dance, they are just gonna smooth out, I think, into a really beautiful, almost ethereal scene with this gorgeous stump as our central subject, square crop, really, really straightforward. Let's see how it comes out. Ooh, slippery, 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 slippery. Okie dokie. I think that is my sign. I was coming back to get the camera and it is just really slippery. The trail is just getting steeper. So I think we're gonna turn around, head down the trail, find some compositions on the way down, keep my eyes open. I'm not out here to get hurt. Still the only person out here. Definitely the only photographer out here. It's just me and the trees and the mushrooms right now, and the occasional bird. So, as I said, let's keep an open eye as we walk down the trail, open mind, and see if we can find anything. Okay, everybody, I think we found it. It's not like amazing, but I think it's actually interesting. There's this log over here, which it looks like at some point a tree fell over. You can kind of see pieces of it over there on the ground, and it just is perfectly balanced on this rock right here. So we're gonna set up, I think, again, we might go for a square crop. I'm just gonna put this thing square in the middle of the frame. Yeah, I think it's gonna make an interesting shot. So let's get the camera out, get the tripod set up, and see what we can get here. So that's what we're looking at exposure-wise. Rock and log right in the middle of the frame. I could actually see this cropped either square or panoramic. We'll have to see which one I end up going with. But of course, we have a lot of highlights to deal with in the upper half of the frame where we've got the sky coming in. So we are going to exposure bracket, try and use a relatively fast shutter speed to keep the leaves from being too blurred. And yeah, if it's any good, I'll throw it up on the screen and let me know down in the comments what you think. I gotta say, that was a lot of fun. Completely unexpected. The last thing I thought I would see out here was a log balancing on a rock. I probably blew the highlights, if I'm being honest. We'll have to see. Well, you will have already seen the edited photo. I am not good at HDR, and I'm perfectly okay admitting that. It's just something I need to practice, but I'm out here, I'm doing this, and I'm practicing. So yeah, overall, really, really wonderful day out in the field. And it's not over yet. I am heading down this trail, and I know there's at least one more stream that I want to photograph on the way home. It is still completely socked in. I know there's supposed to be a good view here, but I can't see it. But I also know that that stream on the way home is just calling my name, itching for a long exposure. And if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that I can't resist that. So stick around. I think we've got one more photo coming up here, and then we'll close this thing out. I just set my bag down, and I think I'm just gonna take a handheld shot right here. You can't quite tell from where you are, but there's a set of 3 dead trees, all different heights. I'm gonna just take this handheld. I want to capture just how foggy and misty and ethereal this place is. This might be the best shot of the whole day, and I can't think of a better way to end the video. So don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below what you think about the photos, what you think about the video, and yeah, what you want to see in the next video. I hope you get out, I hope you shoot on your next day off, and yeah, I'll see you next time.